You budger. Look at you. This is hot, right? My man right here, you're so patient.
About me or him?
You.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you. So my question is the question you have faced earlier, like years before. I just wanted to ask this on your, like, not the final chapter. I really hope it's not final chapter for you in Octagon, but maybe in the middle of your final book. So the question sounds like this. Are you a bad guy trying to be good, or are you a good guy trying to be bad? How would you answer this question right now?
So I've answered that question before in the past. It went pretty viral.
Yeah, no.
But I'll elaborate on that question. Some people are not going to want to hear this, but in the Christian faith, we believe that we're all born into sin. We're all sinners. The moment that Adam bit that apple in the Garden of Eden, we all became kind of condemned to sin. And the way Christianity works is it's a decision to accept Christ into your life and to accept Christ into your heart. And so naturally, my nature is one of sin, and that's all of us. And I believe that it's our job to try to do the right things and to try to walk in the light instead of the darkness. And so that's what I meant when I answered that question. I think we are all rotten at the end of the day and trying to do the right things.
That's an amazing answer. Thank you, John.
So John Jones kind of explained it the best way that he could, according to, his Christian doctrine and what he understands or what he believes. But we all know that it wasn't an apple that Adam bit, and it wasn't Adam who, quote unquote, bit the fruit. It was Eve, and the biting of the fruit is not, it wasn't a real thing. It wasn't an actuality. It's proverbial, it's metaphorical. The eating of the fruit represents learning things that they weren't supposed to learn. That's what that meant. They were taught by the quote unquote trees, meaning the people in the Garden of Eden that were on the left hand. They were taught things that was of the left hand, that were in opposition to the Most High, which is why they fell, which is why sin entered into the world. If they was to just follow what the Most High told them in regards to being fruitful and multiplying, then everything would be smooth. Everything would be good. To this day, sin entered into the world and death reigned from Adam until law came into the fold in regards to the Mosaic understanding, in regards to the law that was given to Israel, only Israel. Therefore, Israel only sins. Sin is not imputed upon people outside of the nation of Israel. Only Israel sins. The other nations, they're heathens. So just when it comes to the understanding, yes, we are all born into this world of sin because of the decision that Adam made when it comes to him not chastising his lady. That's what it was all about. So in Romans 5, I want to get it. Wherefore, verse 12, wherefore as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. Right. Everlasting life is the order in regards to what we hope to achieve, what we hope to acclaim, the goal, everlasting life, the celestial body. The reason why you have judgment day is because of what Adam and Eve did. And based off of that, when it comes to what you do on this earth, we will all be judged. And we hope to attain the celestial body and not go into torment. That's what it's all about. That's what this whole understanding is all about. That's what's, coming into the knowledge is all about. That's what, self-discovery is all about when it comes to you knowing that you're an Israelite and what comes with that. That being following the commandments in hopes of inheriting the kingdom of heaven, attaining that celestial body. For unto the law, sin was in the world, but sin is not imputed when there is no law. Right. And the law was only given unto Israel. The law was only given unto Israel. What is sin? Sin is infracting upon the Most High. When it comes to his laws, statutes, and commandments, he only gave it to Israel. Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression, because it was meant for the whole world. It was meant for the whole world. That's why certain people, when it comes to these last days in regards to the destruction that's imminent on this earth, some people, they're going to make it, and it's not even based off of what they've done on this earth when it comes to them following, the commandments to the best of their ability. They just live in life and, following the commandments, not even knowing that they're following the commandments, or they just live in life and, not bothering anybody, and just, not doing too much, not trying to be, over righteous, so on and so forth. And then there's people that's, doing the right things, and, it might be a situation where they don't make it. And part of that is because of the national aspect, because we already know that it's only Israel that's meant to be saved, right? Who is the figure of him that was to come? So most people, they read this and they look at it as incarnation, like reincarnation, like Christ came in the figure of Adam, or Adam came in the figure of Christ. No, it was just meant to let you know that Christ was coming on the earth to offset the sin of Adam. Christ could not be Adam because Christ never sinned. So that whole reincarnation, that Hindu doctrine, that's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. And speaking of the whole reincarnation thing, I'm going to do a video on Kendrick Lamar's song Reincarnated, because it's layered. And, we're going to use the Bible as a prop for it, because he touches on a lot of esoteric themes and a lot of Luciferian themes in which you understand when you read the scriptures, especially in the book of Isaiah. But let's just read on. But not as the offense, so also is the free gift. For if through the offense of one many be dead, much more the grace of the Most High and the gift by grace, which is by one man, Yahushua HaMashiach, hath abounded unto many. One man, letting you know that the Most High, his son, is a standalone entity, a standalone person. He was not another person in another life, and vice versa. Adam was not Christ, and Christ was not Adam. Christ was not Moses. It's all nonsense. And not as it was by one that sinned, so is the gift. For the judgment was by one to condemnation, but the free gift is of many offenses unto justification. For if by one man's offense death reigned by one, much more they which receive abundance of grace and of the gift of righteousness shall reign in life by one, Yahushua HaMashiach. Excuse that notification. Let's just continue on. So we in Psalms 51, in which David penned, King David, he sinned. He definitely did sin. And when it says, we are all born sinners, or when it comes to that, understand that it's not saying that when we're babies, we sin. It means that we're bound to sin as human beings. It's not saying that we just come out the womb straight sinning. Like, you can't, that's impossible as a baby. So it's the same thing as like when people say, oh, you're born gay. You're like, it's nonsense. There's no such thing as a gay baby. It's the same thing as you being a born sinner. You don't come out the womb sinning. It just means that you're bound to sin. So we in verse 5 of Psalms 51, where it says, behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom. It's important just when it comes to the hidden parts. What's the hidden parts? That's the interior. That's the mental. That's the things that we don't really conceive within us or discover within us until we get older and we start to understand certain things about ourselves, the inner parts of ourselves, our soul, what defines us, what personifies us, so on and so forth. But I just wanted to get this scripture just to emphasize the point. Yes, we are all born into sin. King David sinned, Solomon sinned, and it doesn't take away, your aspect or your essence of righteousness. It just means that you're a human being. The only perfect person on the earth was Yahushua HaMashiach. That's it. So we're in 1 Timothy chapter 2. We're going to start at verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array, but which becometh woman professing godliness with good works. So it's important for us to understand our place and position, especially when it comes to the woman. They are not to teach the Bible to a grown man. It's just off. It's just off. And the woman is not to testify because she doesn't have testicles. She does not have testicles. There's so much that goes into these things. It's not just they can't teach. It's all based in how the Most High created the woman, just when it comes to certain aspects of her emotions, and also the understanding of the cycle, how they bleed 7 days, there's other things that go into why the woman is not to teach the man, just when it comes to the spiritual aspect, when it comes to the Bible. That's the man's place. The Most High is only working through the man, only talking to the man. The Most High loves and gives a gift to every person on the earth, but he only loves Israel, the man and woman of Israel, but the man first. And that's not me being misogynistic and none of that. It's just the truth. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. You see, when it comes to this world right now, everything is opposite of what we read in the scriptures. That's how you know that the scriptures is true, because we live in a sinful world and things are contrary to what was laid out. The woman is loud. The woman is dressing all scantily clad like a slut. You know, she wants to be the man. She wants to have certain positions that a man holds, so on and so forth. Everything is upside down, but it lends credence to the Bible because it tells you that these things would occur and persist. For Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. That's why the serpent came to the woman, because the woman is the weaker vessel. It's the same thing that's going on in these days, where the woman is a weaker vessel. So the people in power, they prey on the woman. They use the woman and they push this whole womanhood stuff and Me Too and women empowerment, women's rights, all this stuff. It's all based in them being the weaker vessel. It's easy for them to be pawned out. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. So the reason why I wanted to go into this was just to emphasize the understanding. It was not Adam who was deceived, but it was a woman. But the reason why Adam fell is because he's held to a higher standard as a man. And he fell because he put Eve before God. He put Eve before the Most High. That's how he fell. And that's one thing that we should learn and we should take from the history and the story of Adam and Eve and whatnot. You know, the real thing we take from it is to not go into idolatry, to not put anything before the Most High, especially putting strength into a woman.